Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to say thank you to our panel for coming to the forum today. Thank you. As for your information, our topic for today is Malaysian athletes' performance moving forward or backward. So before that, I would like to introduce our panel for today. I myself is Nurul Syarah binti Mahmad as a moderator for today. On my left is Ministry of Youth and Sport, Puan Nur Amirah binti Zahari. Next to her is Ahmad Syakir Aflah bin Muhammad Azmi, and at this center is Khairan Nazir bin Muhammad Razi as a coach for today. And our specially invite panel is Muhammad Hafizul bin Mak Yassin as an athlete. As we all know, sport is one of the activities that give many benefits to everyone. And sport also can bring our country to the eye of the world. Lately, our country has been involved in many types of sport. So, Mr. Shakir, can you share with us the latest news about sport in our country?
Okay, thank you, Miss Moderator. Okay, the latest news about sport in our country. We have the bad news and the good news. Okay, the good news is currently Malaysia just achieved its 7 gold medal target at the just completed Asian Games in Jakarta. And we have also bad news. The bad news is public and official sport in Malaysia expected more from the competition. Okay, this situation happened because of the sport Malaysian official is focused too much on the elite level performance and not at all on increasing the size of the number of size athlete pool.
The pool need to be large, organized, and understood demographically. This is not an easy task, and so far the nation has shied away from any large effort at increasing the athlete pool in the sport.
So this is why the minister should establish KPI that address the development issue. Thank you.
That was very interesting. Thank you, Mr. Shakir. Okay, now I would like to ask Puan Amira as a Ministry of Youth. What did you see about the trend of achievement among athletes in Malaysia? Can you give comments?
Okay, so thank you to our moderator today. So as we know, the trend of achievement for athletes in Malaysia always occurs the different data in every years. So sometimes occurring increase and sometimes decrease. And I just to clarify the record data from 2014 until 2018, which is the record data from 2018 and 2014 is increased because of the athlete talent. Okay. Every athlete, they has their own advantage and their own talent. So we in this point we could take our athlete for the example, such as Datuk Nicole and David, which is she started play squash at 5 years old, and she was received coaching at the age of 8, and then her talent was spotted by E. Pyo Hoon and Dr. Nicole and David. She was career began in 1992, which is when she She won silver in the under 16 category at the Milo Dunlop Sport International Junior Interstate Championship, and in 2004, Datuk Nico and David failed to get a title, but she never give up, and she winning the next game and achieve what she has today. Okay.
Oh, I see. Meaning that we have improved. We have improved a lot in our sports, right? But from what I have observed, our athletes did not perform their best in their game or in their tournament. So, in your opinion, Mr. Hafizul, as an athlete itself, what is the factor that caused athletes did not perform their best to rival with the other athletes in other country, which is not only in developed country but also in non-developed country?
Thank you, Ms. Shahira, for the question. In my opinion, the factor that athletes not perform their best is the government failure to provide their quality programs. It means their management is more selfish than the athletes. Okay, second, the uniqueness of sports as an association. It means sports official have no missions and vision. Their focus in the certain athletes and not focus at all. They're using for self-interest. Attitudes of sports officials would like to influence. They took money and all to make their incomes. Lastly, sports officials will have no knowledge of the sports. It includes of uniqueness sport association. Okay, third, the athletes take in drugs. The athlete take drugs to their performance of stamina. Taking drugs, they are taking drugs to give mental strength when complete to get rid. The athlete take drugs to give mental strength when competing to get rid of feelings of emotion and strength. Okay, 4. Okay, next. The factor is corruption. The athletes are giving bribes to win or lose. Athletes arrange fixtures for quick profit and make easy profit without thinking of national interest. Internal management also weakness and slows our payroll. Thank you.
That was good point, Mr. Hafizul. Thank you. Now I want to ask Mr. Nazrin. From what Mr. Hafizul said just now about the problem of the athlete, you as a coach, can you give some ways on how to improve our athletes?
Thank you, moderator, for the wonderful questions. As a coaches, we have designing some ways to improve our athletes. We can improve our athletes firstly through psychology. As we know, people get nervous when we play in front of crowded. So we do some things to reduce their nervousness. We told them that they play for their country, not for themselves. They must be proud to representing the country. Then many of the athletes get homesick when they play in the other country. I took one example, such as Sharif Fikri, that representing Thailand club in Division 1. He told media that he get homesick when he far away from friends and families. So, as the coaches, we tell Sharif Fikri try to adapt with local peoples and food to suit with the surroundings. Then tell Sharif Fikri to make friends to avoid loneliness. Second, we design some intensive training. The athletes must wake early in the morning because we start our training at 7 o'clock in the morning. We train at least 4 hours and we break each session in 2 hours. We frame a few programs to improve their self-skills. It's important to compete with other opponents, and we make sure that the program suit with the athletes for the athletes' development. Thirdly, we apply work ethics among athletes. This is important because work ethics can give motivation to our athletes. The main factor to be a great athlete is to be disciplined. For example, I take Cristiano Ronaldo. I admire him because he very disciplined. He respect coach and coaching staff. Even he transfer from another club from club to another club. And Cristiano Ronaldo come early to the training ground to improve his skills. He do extra training because he want to give the best to his team, and he want to be the best player in the world. He also apply good diet. He avoid alcoholic beverages, and he took some healthy food such as vegetables, vitamin, minerals, and protein. And he always give his best to his team. Okay. He always come to the gym to rebuild his body. Okay. Fourthly, we must do recovery to our athletes. It is important to restore our athlete fitness. If the athletes do not recover well, it will disrupt their performance. I suggest that government must take their action to improve the facilities to the next level. We must take example. We must see a developed country that they have own facilities. That's not weird that developed country have their best athletes. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nazrin, for the views. The last question is for Mrs. Shafika. What is the pros and cons for having kids that involved in sports? Did you think sports cannot bring them to a successful career? Or do you think, is there a future if involved in sports?
Thank you to the moderator. First, me as a parent, I can teach my son who is an athlete to be an independent person because they have to live separately from the family. Before this, they do not have to do the house chores by themselves. So, but they just depends everything on his family. Second is me as a parent do not have to worry about the family's future because the athlete will get his salary every month, so they can live on their own feet. Me as a parent will teach my son how difficult it is to earn money. He can achieve what he wants, or he can buy everything that he wants. With the salary, he can live a normal life. For example, he can help his parents to pay for his siblings' school fees. Next is he can be a role model to everyone, such as young people, to start a healthy life. All parents can fertilize the sportsmanship in their kids' life, so they can avoid chronic disease from the young age. If they take a good care of their health, it can give impact when they are getting older. The problem the first problem is the parents might get worried easily because the athlete will expose to danger easily, even they just do the light kind of exercise like running, or when they have a game competition or tournament, they will use their all strength. So the opponent will use the physical and mental to let our athlete feel challenged. On that situation, they will forget about their own safety. Another problem is the drug using among the athlete. As we know, athletes from another countries be known by using the drugs. They often take drugs or doping, so that they can be more energetic and it can improve their endurance. If they get caught, it may affect the athlete's future, and they cannot involve in any match. The athlete also, it might darken the athlete's future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Shafika. So we have reached to the end of our discussion. Again, I would like to say thank you to our panel today for your cooperation and for having time for coming to our forum. Thank you. Bye. Okay.